I am in Seale, Alabama at a drive-through museum. And it's just a whole bunch of like random stuff. Like, I don't know, can you see in there? Like skeletons and a random like prosthetic leg and a crocodile face. Some trophies that say too little too late. Yeah, it's like this entire thing happening here. There's some baby chicks, I don't know, weird poster. So yeah, I'm gonna keep driving, see what else I can find here. That says woolly mammoth jaw. I'd like to know the authenticity of that piece. I mean, there's some actually interesting art kind of like further back and stuff, but there's like a weird skeleton in the corner there. Guys, like, what is happening? I'm gonna have to drive back through. I'm just kind of take it all in. It's like a two-headed duck. And whatever this stuff is. This is just another view of it. So it's old shipping containers, and there's like weird art and stuff in this little yard space. That road sign art's pretty cool, actually. But I'm gonna see if there's somewhere to park, if I can like get out and actually like really look at stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, just so weird. There's a snake in a jar. And goose. I got out of my car to kind of like walk around and get a better perspective, but apparently it's the world's first drive-through art and antique gallery. And yeah, it's made out of like old shipping containers. I didn't know if I got out of my car, yeah, you can't really see any better once I got out of the car, but so it is Sunday morning, but I don't know what day of the trip this is or anything like that. I also don't know what date it is, but I left Montgomery, Alabama this morning. I kind of didn't want to leave. It was my halfway point through the trip, and my aunt and uncle are so gracious. I mean, I think we added it up. It was like 9 meals, 3 nights in a bed, hot shower. Like, it was just such a nice time. It was really great to see them too. I've not got to hang out with them like that in a very long time. It's usually just quick couple hour stops to have a meal, like dinner or something. But so it was really nice to get to spend that time with them and the kids, and just kind of hang out. So that's all I saw in Montgomery, Alabama, really, was their house and just a couple restaurants and her office and stuff. But it was such a blessing. And then like my uncle braving my cooler for me and getting to hang out with their dog. I miss animals. But so yeah, just what a great like break halfway through before I get into the thick of things again, because what's coming now is a lot of hiking, a lot of outside, possibly rain. So it's gonna be hot and messy and tiring. So feeling refreshed after this day with them is really nice. So I am at Providence Canyon State Park now. I'm going to pack my bag, get my footwear ready, and some serious bug spray apparently is needed, and see what kind of mess I can get into. So apparently, warning, stay on trail and use map, and don't have heat problems, don't climb on the canyon, don't climb over the fence. So yeah, lots of warning. So guess we'll see how this goes. Oh, I think I have to sign in. So I'm gonna do it real fast. I almost went on this 4-mile hike without eating. That would have been a disaster. I was a little nervous though because this is gonna be my lunch. A stick of chicken jerky, or a brick of chicken jerky, and a tortilla. And honestly, the chicken jerky is pretty good. So I should be okay. We'll see what happens. But it's a good thing I've got the bug spray on because they're already everywhere. So that's fun. So I'm down on the canyon floor walking barefoot. I was advised by a couple of the park rangers that honestly that's the best way to do the canyon floor, just because it's really like muddy and sandy and watery, and I could wash my shoes but don't really feel like it. Don't know if I could get them clean enough because this red clay stains, and the water actually is gonna help keep me cool while I walk because it is hot. Look how cool that is. Yeah. Also, something I've never done before. Not even to the actual like canyon part that's meant to be seen yet, and I'm already like in awe. I am on the floor of a canyon. Literally in the middle of it. This is crazy. I'm also out here alone. Again. That's okay though. Oh, it's very, very hot though. The water's not running right here, so I can't stick my feet in it to cool off, but it's very cool. Who knew something like this was in Little Georgia? So this is interesting. I am very glad that I am barefoot. This is supposed to lead me to a canyon, but right now I just feel like it's leading me really deep into the woods, so I shall see. Alright, so that did eventually lead me to like a canyon, I guess, but it was nothing in comparison to the ones that I had already seen. So I just kind of turned around before I went too much further in. I'm actually in a different time zone right now than where I'm going to be later. I'm an hour ahead here, and where I'm going to be later, Planet Fitness closes at 7, and that's where my shower is for the night. So I need to, not wasting time, but I just need to be mindful of the time. So that's why I just decided to turn around, and there's other really big canyons on the other side that I still want to get to. And I'd like to get to the rim of the canyon to be able to take some overlook shots and views and things. So that's why I turned around. Alright, so that did eventually lead me to like a canyon, I guess, but it was nothing in comparison to the ones that I had already seen. So I just kind of turned around before I went too much further in. I'm actually in a different time zone right now than where I'm going to be later. I'm an hour ahead here, and where I'm going to be later, Planet Fitness closes at 7, and that's where my shower is for the night. So I need to, not wasting time, but I just need to be mindful of the time. So that's why I just decided to turn around, and there's other really big canyons on the other side that I still want to get to. And I'd like to get to the rim of the canyon to be able to take some overlook shots and views and things. So that's why I turned around. In other news, literally I just finished filming that other thing. It has started raining, and I don't have a rain jacket. I don't have anything. So I'm gonna go find a tree or a rock. Wish me luck. Okay, so I did find like a little hidey hole, but I don't have any service down here, so I can't check the weather. I have no idea how long it's gonna rain or how hard it's gonna rain. So, oh, and I forgot I grabbed this plastic trash bag for my food trash, and luckily I did because it's coming in handy. But so my choices are to either, I'm actually right at the trailhead to go back up. So my choices are to do that, go back up and just, I don't know, call it quits or something, I don't know. Or brave the rain and continue. The sky doesn't look that bad, so I feel like it's going to stop soon, but I really don't just want to stand here either. So that's why those are my options, because just standing here is not an option. So I'm going to make my choice and follow through. Okay, so I did find like a little hidey hole, but I don't have any service down here, so I can't check the weather. I have no idea how long it's going to rain or how hard it's going to rain. So, oh, and I forgot I grabbed this plastic trash bag for my food trash, and luckily I did because it's coming in handy. But, so my choices are to either, I'm actually right at the trailhead to go back up, so my choices are to do that, go back up and just, I don't know, call it quits or something, I don't know. Or brave the rain and continue. The sky doesn't look that bad, so I feel like it's going to stop soon, but I really don't just want to stand here either. So that's why those are my options, because just standing here is not an option. So I'm going to make my choice and follow through.
I made it to Canyon 8. It took quite a bit of time and some frustration, but I made it and it's pretty. There's just some confusion on the map. I'll explain later.
So I thought I had found Canyon 8, and then on my way back down the trail, I saw like a little turnoff and I saw some footprints. So I was like, well, let me go see what that is. Now I found Canyon 8, and it was definitely worth it.
This is Canyon 8. Wow. Speechless. This is way better than I expected. And it's like silent. There's no birds, there's no insects. It's weird. To think this is in Georgia. Just walking through the creek bed of the canyon floor. I made it to, this is the main overlook of the canyon. There's a lot of other little ones you can kind of peek through, but this is the best one probably. I found another good overlook. And this is actually the overlook of the first portion of the canyons that I saw. It's just, this is the view from the top. Last overlook. This one's really cool too. It's interesting because up here you can see like the trees and then all the different layers. So there used to be a homestead here, and these automobiles were abandoned by the homestead, and nature is kind of taken over, and animals and stuff and plants and stuff live in them. So they've decided to leave them so they don't disrupt the animals and nature that have started calling them home. Here's another one. And another one. I think this is the last one. This one's seen better days. Can even still see some of the wires. And the pedals. It's crazy. So I finished at the canyon with the overlooks and the old cars, which were the coolest. And I rushed to Planet Fitness because they closed at 7. I got there at 6. And had a hot shower, which felt amazing. And I am now at Golden Corral because I hadn't really eaten today and I couldn't really decide what I wanted, and Golden Corral has everything. And I've not been to Golden Corral in a long time. I'm just hoping I don't regret this later. But yeah, so I've got my little setup here. I've got my tablet. I'm watching a movie and some food. This will be my third plate. Don't judge. But yeah, so I'm going to hang out here and take my time and eat and watch TV and then head to the hotel. I am parked for the night and I'm somewhere that feels pretty safe, so I'm good to go there. Regarding my Golden Corral decision, I don't regret it, but I think I might not need to eat for 3 days. So that would be helpful, actually. And, oh, I wanted to explain the canyon thing. So the canyon is actually man-made in a sense because it used to be like rolling hills, but then they used the land to harvest like cotton or something, and they mismanaged the land, and there was a bunch of erosion and all this other stuff, which created the canyon. But it's still cool to look at. So the rain actually didn't last long at all. So I did end up deciding to keep walking, but I mean, I didn't really see much rain after that anyway, so it didn't really matter. As far as, I think at some point I said that there was like frustration or something, I don't know. But so canyons 1 through 5 were supposed to be to the left, and canyons 6 through 9 were supposed to be to the right. There was nothing to the right except for a 7-mile trail, which I ended up walking 15 minutes down before I realized and decided that probably wasn't the right thing. So I turned around and walked the 15 minutes back, and it was like a backcountry trail. It's like 7.5 miles or something like that. It takes like 4 hours. So, and there was the signage on all of this, like for all of the canyons and all of the trails, the signage was terrible. And the map was incorrectly drawn. So you have a map that's incorrectly drawn, and you've got signs that are incomplete or missing or wrong. It was not well done. So I had to hike back up to the top of the canyon to ask her where canyons 6 through 9 were. I got the information. I hiked back down into the canyon. I made it to the canyons as seen in the video, which is great. But I still couldn't find number 9, no matter how hard I looked. I even went down like a little trail path that looked like it could be it, but it wasn't sure. Ultimately decided that was not meant for humans. So I turned around and went back the other way. But so I mean, it was still great. I would have done it all over again. They need to fix their signs and they need to fix their maps. So that was all. But yeah, it was still really, really, really great. I was out there a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was fine. So yeah, and then after dinner, I went and sat at Starbucks and started talking to these two guys. They had just met. They were together, and he's doing a marketing paper, so he asked me a question about my phone to help him do his marketing paper, and we just started chatting, and they're really, really nice guys. And the people at dinner sitting next to me when I came back with my third plate, I kind of went in like sections. Like I got salad, and then I got vegetables, and then I got proteins. And when I came back with my third plate, they were like, dang, you can eat. And all the women at the table were like, leave her alone, let her eat. But then when I explained that I hadn't eaten all day because I'm on a road trip and I was hiking, they were like, oh, okay. And then they told me that they thought I was 18, and I was like, no, not quite. I love/hate that people think I am 18, 20, 21.
Granted, right now I look like an old grandma because my eyes are having a hard time staying open because I'm so tired. I think it's like 9:45 right now, and I think this is like the earliest I've ever parked my car in my sleeping spot because I'm exhausted. Also, because that is my front seat. Let's see if I can show you. There. Yeah. That is my front seat. It is totally covered. So I have to clean that up before bed. Also, while I was at my aunt and uncle's house, I got to do laundry for free. So I washed my sheet. So I have to put that on before I can go to bed. So I've got a lot to do before I can go to bed. So that was partly why I wanted to park my car early tonight. Also, the clothes that came out of the washer and dryer from my aunt and uncle's house smell amazing. But I used my soap and my softener, which is the same thing I used at the laundromat, and my clothes did not smell like that after the laundromat. So I'm doubting laundromats at the moment. But anyways, so I've got to get to work on all of this cleaning and reorganizing and all of that because tomorrow is another full day of hiking in the heat. So I've got to clean. Oh, however, tonight when I was at Starbucks, I got to sit outside and I was actually a little chilly. I can't tell y'all the last time I was a little chilly outside since this road trip started. And that means my thermometer right now is telling me that it's 75 degrees outside. That means I'm not going to sweat tonight, and I might even get to cover up with the blanket. So I am very excited about sleeping in my car tonight. Somebody remind me that I just said that. Next time it's really hot and I complain about it, remind me that there was a time I was really excited about it. Anyways, so that's it for the day. It was a busy, full packed day. I've got another one tomorrow, so good night. Well, I cleaned up the front seat, but now the back seat looks like this. And I can't fold my bed down with that stuff there, so more cleaning.